Hey everybody, Martin Williams here. So glad to be with you. You know what I really care about is you learning how to control your own life. So we've been asking ourselves this question: what can you do really? Be for real. For real, what can you really do? You can focus on you, right? And today, I want you to focus on deploying yourself. What does deploy mean? How do I deploy myself? Well, it's not just a rhyming thing, discover, develop, deploy. It's really that word deploy is really about where you're going. Where do you send yourself? You can be invited into situations, but life changes when you decide which situations you're going into. People can open a door for you, and I think that's wonderful. But what doors will you decide to open for yourself? What jobs will you decide to take? What relationships what trips will you decide to take? What businesses will you decide? In other words, you've got to really own what you are doing. If you know who you are, you've discovered, you've developed that person, right? Now you need to own where you go. College in a lot of ways doesn't make sense for everybody, right? Formal education. They don't really work for everyone because some people have decided where they're going and they don't need a college degree for it. They don't need a diploma. They might need training certificates. They might need mentoring, but they don't need a business degree because they've already started their business at 16. So they might need mentorship, they might need some capital, they might need some wraparound services, right? But to spend 4 years getting a college degree just doesn't fit them because they already own where they're going. You need to own where you're going. You should not end up in situations where you're using your best gifts that don't serve you too. You need to serve others, but at the end of the day, it really needs to be something that serves you, brings life to you, brings self-expression, brings pride, brings, I feel good about me doing this. I feel good about me doing this, even if the guy over there is pissed off, right? Even if they don't like it, you like it. You feel good. You go home feeling good. You're giving energy away because you just built energy in yourself because you own where you are. I've met people who took jobs, took a job volunteering. Just volunteering because that's where I wanted to be. Yes, I was starving, but I really wanted to be here. I really wanted to own what I was doing. I felt very good about it. And it was there I met a person that led me into my next, right? It was a door that I was pursuing. So I want you to deploy yourself. Now, in the sense of military, when someone is deployed, that's why I like this word. When someone is deployed, they're in one of our 5-6 branches of service, right? When they're sent to a place, they're equipped. They get equipment, they're gonna be sustained there. There's an assignment or a goal or a mission of some type. There is a reward, they get to do it with other people. In the same way, I think that you can deploy yourself. So there's a mission, there are all sustenance that you need, there are relationships you can build, you can do it with other people, but at the end of the day, it's really about you owning where you're going. Own it. And I'd be willing to bet you that if you looked at your life, if you're a bit older, you'll see that even when you were a child, right? And now you're super successful. Say it with me, I am super successful, right? But now that you're super successful, everything you've done to get to your place of success was a part of what you're doing now. It may have been small then, but it's still the same thing you're doing now, just at higher levels. That's the way this goes. When you own it, it stair steps. It moves up. More and more authority, more and more power, more and more money, more and more influence. It goes over time as you deploy yourself. Very important to do that. The story I want to tell you about deploying yourself and why it's important that you do so, that you don't give it to anyone else, and to really take some time and look back over your life. I mean, sitting next to me, and some people will wonder, why is this drum set stacked in the corner? Well, When I was a young man in high school, I put this drum set on layaway. It's a cheap one for the rest of you. Real drummers are gonna be, man, that's a CB700. Yeah, it's a CB700. It's not one of the very expensive ones. I couldn't afford an expensive one. It's not a solid wood core. It's not all that stuff. It's not the greatest hardware, right? But this is the only drum set I bought for myself. But it wasn't a drum set. Why did I buy it? I bought it because there was a band in my town. There's a band in my town, a gospel band. They asked me to play in the gospel band. Well, everybody else had instruments. I didn't have one. Older men, they had their own musical instruments. I didn't have one, so I had to buy my own drum set. I put it on layaway at Sears and Roebuck, right? Layaway at Sears and Roebuck, but I finally got my drum set out. Then I had to put some cymbals, right? So I wouldn't sound a mess, right? I had to put those on layaway at the music store in my little town, right? But when I finally got this drum set, I was able to travel, listen to me, I was able to travel with this amazing band, some incredible men. One of those lead singers, Paul Porter, is still a professional, owns his own studio, making lots of money, famous around the world in gospel music, what some people would call quartet music. I bought this drum set. And one day, when my wife and I, we get married, we've traveled the world a little bit, we moved back to Omaha, and in one of the boxes that we had in Korea and everyone else, I brought this box to Omaha because it was in storage. Brought it to Omaha, I sat it in the basement. It was really in the way, but I didn't notice it. And I noticed one day when we were in the basement, me and my wife, long story, we're in the basement and I saw the drum sitting over in the corner and I asked her, I said, why have you never brought this drum set up? It's old, it's dusty. And she said, that's the only drum set you ever bought. And I said, it is. I said, but it's not clutter to you? She said, no, why would it be clutter to me? You bought that set yourself. And she said these words, that drum set was used in developing who you are right now. I'd never thought about it. So my wife is very clean, meticulous, the house looks real nice all the time. But this drum set in the basement taking up space, set up in the corner. She said, that drum set helped you develop. She was right. That drum set developed what I really cared about, what I really thought, how I really saw life, how I saw serving people, how I used this drum set to meet people and help them get into college, how I help people. It's like everywhere I would go and travel with this very famous band, I met people and my gift of serving people only swelled, right? So this drum set helped me deploy myself. It helped me get in that band. It helped me play in the biggest choir in Mississippi. It helped me record in studios. It helped me meet people. It helped me really get to know my wife because she would sort of come to concerts as a friend. This drum set helped me develop. There are things in your life right now that you're not noticing. You're not noticing it, but it's where you developed. Now you need to be in charge of where you're deployed. Where are you deployed? What are you supposed to be doing now? Where are you going next? You need to own that. If someone invites you to do something that is not where you're supposed to go, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be in control of where you go next. Be in control of what you do next. Own that. Own it. Let the decisions be made by you. Make your own opportunities. Get involved as early as you can in your own dream. You get stuck in someone else's dream. Now you got a cell phone and a car you got to pay for. Now you got an apartment complex you got to pay for. You're stuck now. You get married, you're real stuck. You have a child, you're stuck forever. Because it takes a lot of energy now. Because you're on this road where you did not choose. And now you got to find a way to get back to your original deployment. So do it now. Make those decisions now. If you're way down the road, you got to find a way to come back and get on the right road, right? In essence, an airplane that was on a pattern to fly one place and now it's off, it doesn't have to come back to the place it left. It simply makes adjustments. You start to make adjustments to get back to where you're assigned to. It may take a while, but that's okay. Now you're owning your own deployment. And if there's any miracles to be had, the creator of the universe now will conspire with you to get back on your assignment, because the creator of the universe wants you to be where you're supposed to be. Bottom line. Does that make any sense? Long story about a drum set, but the bottom line is there are some tools in your life that's being used to develop you. Realize what you're being developed into and control where you're going. I really love these last few episodes. They were mind-shaking for me as I'm listening to myself and thinking about, I'm making a list in my head of what I need to do right after this, right? Because there are some other worlds I want to deploy myself into. There are some other things I want to experience. There's some other things I want to enjoy. There are just things in my life that I want to do myself. I've got to be in charge of that. I can't make you be in charge of that. I can't make anybody else be in charge of that. That's my job. It's inside, all right? So I take this in myself. It's just truth, and I just relax in the truth of it. I don't blame myself that I'm not there. I don't blame any other people that I'm not there. I just say this is simply a truth, and it's where I am right now, and I can do something different tomorrow, right? Right. Well, I'm Martin Williams. All I really care about is helping you take control of your own life. Later.